to my channel. Once again, I am going to be the host with the most, Ela, Self-Created Girl. So when I think about the basic fundamental principles of a person, I always think about what brings joy to their lives. When you bring up a topic to someone, what topic to that each individual do they glow when they speak of it? Put it back. Okay. Welcome to my channel. Hi guys, my name is Equela and I am coming to you today and ongoing to be the inspirational friend that you always wanted but maybe you couldn't handle when she came around the first time. So a little bit about myself. I am Jill of all trades. I am the girl that is limitless on the information she has within. I am the person that will go out, get information, see what best fits for myself, and explore all messages and messengers to get where I'm going. So I am going to be the messenger that I want to call myself, to where all the information that I've downloaded into my brain and ongoing information that I'm going to obtain, I want to bring it right back into this vessel, which is YouTube, and share it with whoever is going to subscribe, whoever is going to be on the journey with me, because I am really trying to create a mothership so nobody gets left. That's going to be an ode to my girl, Erykah Badu. Well, let's not say girl because I'm nowhere near the level to call her girl. I am a stan. This woman is glory. This woman is reincarnation. This woman is life, the complete 360. And on this channel, I am going to infuse a whole bunch of hip hop to where not just hip hop, but let's just say the Black cultural experience, because I don't want to leave anybody out. So when I think of the Black experience, I think of everything that we have, documented thus far, because, all of our information has been lost in the sauce of some white man's gumbo. But at the end of the day, we are being saved by each other. And I think this is where we're going. And as a self-imposed messenger, I hope that this will inspire and kickstart things that are to be shared in abundance, so we can get back to where we are positive in all realms of life. So again, who am I? Because right now I'm going to be reading out of a book. I am a writer, first and foremost. I have to document things. So I'm going to read from books. I'm going to note favorite verses, anything that is written down that I can go and pull information from. I write it down so I can be able to come back and pull that information again, because I know if it's something that sticks to me, then that means that's a piece of the puzzle that, like you, I am trying to put together to be complete. So I am a mother. First and foremost, that's my most important job at this point in the world. I have a 1-year-old daughter who has literally saved me from myself. I am a daughter who is very fundamental in the village that I was born into. I am a sister, I don't have any brothers. Wish I could experience having a brother, but I am a sister who takes her role very, very serious in the kinship and the kindness that I have for my sisters. I am a cousin who, man, you will get to know my cousins on both ends of my creators, and they are all equally amazing. And I have a very good bond with my family. So a lot of the videos that I'm going to have and a lot of the people that I will invite to my couches, which you'll see as you see more in depth of my office, you'll see that these people are very intricate in my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I want to follow with you guys on this mission that we as Black people have found ourselves thrown into, and it is because of the essence of survival that we are in now. So lots of things are going on in the world around us, and it just can't be ignored. So people or circumstances are pushing us to be able to protect ourselves from entities we really don't understand that is happening around us, because, you know, I want to say us Black people are such gentle giants that we are still very much too compassionate when it comes to the abuse that we can receive, because we so healing to ourselves that we sometimes forget about the past trauma. But it's fine. We're here now, and we have so much stuff to get done. And not a moment too soon. Everything is about timing, and 2020 is here, so it's time that we just figure out a better way to get where we're going. So I want to document, I want to discuss, I want to seek out answers. I want to discover with this YouTube vlog, or whatever you think these things are called, because I'm very new to social media. But like I said, once I had my daughter, I have really recreated a lot of the things that I have in my mind that are for me. And with that, social media and its powerfulness was something that I needed to get back into, to use this vessel that is so powerful for the right reasons. You know, it's a lot of distorted information, and I know that we have to get through a lot of bull in order for us to, I guess, get the roses that we really deserve. So it's time, and like I said, time is wasting. But at the same time, better late than never, right? So let's go over these topics that we always somehow never discuss fully, because we can't ever get past the emotional attachments that cloud the reasoning of our brains, in order for us to solve a lot of issues that are interconnected. Because as we have dived into the information off the internet, we're starting to see stories from different continents, stories from different villages, stories from different diasporas are way too connected. So the information is somewhere not trying to be lost, because bits and pieces are being dropped or had been dropped, and maybe with the elevation of our mental, because as we can see, we are really getting it together on the food tip, on the holistic tip, the spiritual tip, the industrial tip. We are really just getting it together as a whole, and the data upload that's coming to us are releasing the bondage that was, I don't know, what happened? Was it the perms? Was it the fluoride in toothpaste? Was it the 45? I don't know what was the blockage to where the upload of this information, we couldn't retain it. You know, we went to school and we were fed things and only made to really remember them to test, and information is just lost. We can't retain it. But lately, it's as if we can, right? Because even myself, I took years of French because it was required in the academia in my school district. I left school, I hadn't even the ability to say je m'appelle il, you know? So once I had my baby girl, you know, she's closely connected, and I'll tell you guys more about the interminglings of myself on different levels as I get the information across that I need that's more important. She's very close to French-speaking people. So I had her, and I looked and reflected back on her upbringing, and I knew that as her mom, if I don't make sure she's able to speak French, then that whole side of her, that's a clue, the whole side of her will be lost from unable to communicate with that other side, you know what I'm saying? So why not take it upon myself to learn French for her, with her, through her, and here we are. So I'm going to teach you guys all these things. I'm going to teach you guys how to tap back into the reserve that you have of the brain that we're not using. You know, I love everything about our Black culture as of 2020, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. So I don't think that the information that is quote unquote bad, the ratchet TV, the media portraying things that are very false, the governments that control the world, I don't think those things really matter, because at this point we are becoming so responsible for ourselves individually that it has no other choice but to, after you do the individual, you want to do the collective, because it only reinforces the power that you have. So the collective is a village, right? The collective is your village. So if you don't have a village by now, one of the things that I'm going to work on in these segments is how to build your village. Build your village. You need people that have the same ideology, have the same goals, have the same outlooks. You need these people to reinforce you, because one person can't get where we're going, but all of us, they ain't got no choice but to go along with it, because it'll either be one or none. A couple weeks ago, I listened to an interview on the radio from the Breakfast Club. That's something I listen to every morning. These people keep you entertained. They are a healthy addition to whatever you need to do in the morning. Drink coffee, exercise. They are a healthy addition to getting those things done before the day starts. And there's a man on there that only thing stuck out to me, because, you know, he was there advocating a religion, and religion is something that, you know, I don't think it's necessary when you already have a strong foundation inside of yourself to practice those things that they're telling you to do. But that's not up to me to really decide. But he said a thing of uniformity versus unity, and that immediately made me go and search for the definition, which I'm going to read the definition to you. I'm going to Google it. My computer's right here. Because this something, that gem that he said, out of all the things that he mentioned, it struck like a lightning rod, whatever it is. Because it's true after you read the definitions and to understand what the man was speaking about. It's so true. And this is something that can't be lost. Okay, so the first word that I am going to research for you guys is unity. U-N-I-T-Y, Queen. The state of being united or joined as a whole. This is a noun, okay? So that's unity. When you put uniformity, that is also a noun. Much longer, I'm not spelling it out. But if you need me to, I'll spell it out in the comments. It's the quality or state of being uniform, an attempt to impose administrative or cultural uniformity. So if I could be wrong because I didn't go and read or re-listen to the interview because that's the only thing I thought I needed to pick up. But if I remember correctly, he was telling us, as no matter the religion, as demographics of race that they have bunched us all into by force, because we will never know unless there is a God that will say, I really hid all the information that y'all needed for those 400 years. I hid it under a rock. Come get it, because I want to go get it. But unless that can happen, we'll never really know about the past, but we really have to figure out about the ongoing future, because it's very imperative that we stop these things that keep us separated, because we can't work against a machine that's together separately. That's like us throwing a damn rock at a ship expecting it to sink. It's just not going to happen, because my nails are long. I can't. I'm just not. So anyway, he was preaching to where, hey, unity and uniformity are two different things that we are getting lost in these trivial things. It doesn't matter about the unity really until you get in the house. But the uniformity that we need to uphold will mask us until we get where we're going in those houses behind closed doors. So when he said that, it struck me. That is very true, because think about, if you can think back on the civil rights marches and all of that, the thousands of persons that showed up, suited and booted, and you can't see the temperature in the picture, but golly, you know how goddamn hot it is in Mississippi if you live there or ever travel through there and just roll the windows down, or if you ain't had no AC in your car. So they're walking in suits and stockings, not because of just unity amongst all of them. It's because of the uniformity that they had for the bigger purpose. Because no matter if one person perished or one person didn't make it to that march, that person's descendant now has the ability to do whatever they were marching for. So when it takes us to mask our people, this is telling me that Mr. Man at the courthouse, he's black, and he's seen this judge toss the book at all the black little boys or black men or brown or whoever are the underprivileged of that judge. And it can be vice versa because, hey, listen, we all got to take care of ourselves. But anyway, but I'm for everything black. But this judge is asking one particular question, and if they answer this way, they have a better chance of making it out of there. But if they answer it that way, then he tossing a book at them. You know what I'm saying? Because the officer has the training that these boys coming through don't have. So he gives them some advice, unsolicited, like a gem or a whisper. And he says, son, that judge right there, you tell him this, you'll help yourself out. And that's all he has to be. He can be hands out, and he can just, it's not anything illegal. It's not anything to get them in trouble, but it is something to give another person that looks like you, feels like you, think like you, struggles like you, a breadcrumb so they can fight an injustice that's going on that's indirectly affecting them the most. So uniformity will take us and fuck it. No matter if I know for a fact that, listen, this color sometimes be tripping, or not my color, but you know, this whichever color, all baby black. We be tripping, yes we do. We can be a little lazy and entitled, but that does not take away the fact that they did not always have to be like that, or do not always have to continue like that, because we are so down and out most of the time from already being structurally disenfranchised. Think about it growing up. Think about the school teachers that probably badgered that little boy or little girl in 3rd grade that they have not got over. So by the time they got to maybe 19, 20 and made a mistake, you know, we so insensitive to already cut them off that we just still don't practice uniformity to make sure that they don't continue to be disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I want to be about. I want to tell everybody, or tell even just the people that I'm going to reach, that I'm here for you. The jewels that I get, I gotta drop them, because if I pass away without the data being uploaded to somebody else, then it is lost. Just like we figure out these computer situations where if I don't back this up to something external, if it dies, then that's it, right? So in layman's terms or technical terms or however, these things all work the same. So I think it's time for us all to figure out how to work the same, so at least when we get in the house, we can talk, we may can fight, we may can cry ourselves to sleep. We may have to have so many girl talks to where you really gotta tell me, listen, I don't like the way that you were talking to me out there. You know, I kept it together. I didn't say it in the forefront because I don't want us to ever look like we're fighting to them. But let's resolve this in the house, because at this point, I'm feeling some type of way. And nobody should ever be able to tell you that you're not feeling some type of way, because I can't ever feel what's inside of you. Can't. It's physically impossible. And you can't ever feel what's inside of me. So you are entitled to feel some type of way, but you are responsible only for how you react to it. And holding things in causes more turmoil to you than finding a better way to express it in the moment. Or if you can't, you take yourself away from it, you compress it to simplify it, and then you go back to that person. You don't let it harbor on your soul. You don't let it become something that is impossible to stop feeling some type of way about. Because at the end of the day, we're all entitled to anything that is not against the next person, against the next man, against the next woman, you know. But you're entitled to yourself. You're entitled to have feelings, and you're entitled to talk about it. And I want to be the person that you come talk to if you just really feel like you can't talk to anybody. Because as I have recognized, just growing up, just being me, I have always been the, I guess, for real though, the messenger. You know, if you want something that's going to tell you, somebody to tell you directly what you probably feel already, but you're afraid to admit it. If you won't come to me. My family does, my friends do, anybody, my customers do. I've worked in the social work field, you know, they do, you know, it could be the demographics that I am in that, you know, with us, what do you call yourself? Is it impacts? I don't know. Let me Google it. But the people, you know who you are, that you can be in the space of somebody who needs to upload information to you, and without any reason other than you're there, you receive the information from them. You know, you can say, yeah, that chair is purplish. They gonna come back and talk to me about their grandma. They gonna come and talk to me about a bank issue. You know, it's just whatever is on somebody's mind, because I am the person that, you know, I'm just gonna be sitting here most of the time. I'm not gonna chat it up with you because I'm not I want to say I'm not a people's person, because I don't want to be in people's information that it's not my business. So I don't ask questions to people except if it pertains to me. I'm not a people's person. I'm not. So that's the reason why I have to do these YouTubes, to get this information out, because somewhere, somehow, that candle was dimmed in my personality. I don't know. No, I really don't know. Because if you are a part of, I guess, the protected space that I allow people to be in, yeah, I will be nice and I will be everything that you think that I am. But when it comes to people that I don't know, that I don't trust, I don't sense, you know, I'm not going to be the belle of the ball. But for some reason, they still give me the information that maybe sometimes I don't think I deserve, because I don't need to know much about anybody's business. But if it's your calling, it's your calling. And when people tell me their business, I feel like at that point, they are awakening my calling, to where at this point now I can give you the opinion that maybe somebody that's close to you, they might be telling you already, or you might even know it inside of yourself, but you need somebody to reaffirm what you are already feeling. And I am a person that I will speak on my feelings. So if somebody comes to me to talk to me about anything that sparks some type of feeling inside of me, I think that they deserve to hear it from me because they brought it up to me, right? That's it. So when I seek out the information for these subjects, I am going to ask people to really come to me with questions, come to me with stories, come to me seeking advice, or give me some advice. Because at the same time, I am going to use every segment to not sit here and talk the whole time because I am not a counselor. I'm just a homegirl that maybe you're looking for. So I'm not gonna ever say this shit that I got to say is true. I'm not gonna ever say these things are undisputed. No, fact check me too. Tell me, girl, you're wrong. Tell me, but you won't have to tell me why I'm wrong with information because before I will ever talk to you guys about anything, believe me, I have seeked out the information. And I'm just not talking about Google. No, I read books. I use a lot of personal information received from people as a research because that's data collection. And yeah, I do go to Google for a lot of stuff. But these things, if you cipher through it and you start just using the information that are consistent, I think that that's a pretty good tailor if it's true or not, or if it's something that you should test or not, or if it's something that, you know, is popular to where people are just using the popularity to make it be something that it ain't. But that's up to us to find out. That's up to us to prove these things right or wrong. That's up to us to fact check these things. So when we upload this information to our seeds, they have a fair chance to stop repeating these mistakes that our forefathers really have tried to rectify. Because some way, somehow, a mistake happened that got too much out of whack to where, hey, they couldn't do anything about it. You know, it became too powerful of a giant. And we're giants, but we're so gentle that our spirit just keeps forgiving things that, you know, if it's not a big deal after we heal, then sometimes we forget that it still is a dagger that had to heal. So me, myself, I am seeking much advice because as I move and do things in these segments, talking to you guys about the topics that I have either come up with or the topics that you guys write to me, then it's going to be to where I need to get information too, right? It got to be a two-way street because I have to learn so I can continue to teach. Because one time I was talking to a guy and he told me, you know, I was at the dentist's office. Actually, it was a dentist, but I don't remember much about him. He was asking me what I was in college for. I told him psychology. I said, for what? I said, because I want to help people. He was like, you want to help people, so you want to go to psychology? I was like, yeah, because that's my main goal. I wanted to learn how to help people. Don't know how to help them, or maybe not how to help them, because I do know how to help people. I don't know in which ways they're going to need me to help them, because that's up to whatever skill that I am sharpening to develop that's going to be the most beneficial for me to use, you know, and not consume me. But so he told me, he said, okay, well, the greatest person that I know who helps the most persons in the world don't have no college degrees. So I was like, what? You know, he said, Oprah Winfrey. swear, after that man told me that, that stuck with me for at least this has been for about 7 years now. I never needed to go back to the dentist for him because I didn't have anything wrong with me. It was just a cleaning. I saw, I didn't go back to him. I moved from that area, but it stuck. These little things that people tell you that you don't necessarily ever have a purpose for, but they came to upload a message to you. And these are pieces that you're going to have to put together for yourself in order for you to understand the natural gift that maybe you do have, that somebody didn't probably beat out you because they have the wrong information themselves. Let's just put it that way. We don't ever want to say the persons that influenced us or the persons that made us come here this far are wrong. They just don't have the same information, period. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong, because everything that we're going through is tested things to get us where we are back to greatness, back to richness that has nothing to do with monetary numbers. We as Black people are rich in flavor. So when I speak about flavor, you already know about the food, about the arts, the dance. I cannot believe that we as African American people, we have the most, but the least inside, because we are just so unaware of the naturalness of us, the naturalness of the DNA that's inside of us, because it was very much suppressed. But it is waking up, right? I think the Renaissance is upon us, and I typed this a long time ago. I'm going to find this post that I put on one of my social medias, and I still have access to all of them because I'm not that kind of girl that have to have a lot of pages. But I tweeted or Facebooked or whatever I was using at the time, maybe like 5-6 years ago, that the Renaissance was coming. And I didn't understand what it was, but it was something that I was thinking about. I was developing in my mind. I was trying to figure out this path that I was going. And I kind of had a dream of, old Harlem Nights type of vibe, but it wasn't characters that looked like them because I was in the dream. It was characters that looked like what I imagined them to look, to where it was new vibes. But the Renaissance of us as people had come, and we were amazing again. And not to say that we're not the shit now, because we are, but when I say amazing, the whole vibe of us as a persons, the whole energy of us as a unit was amazing. Everybody was for each other. Everybody turned back to each other. Communities were thriving. It wasn't where you came from, it was how you lived. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I grew up with. I grew up learning this from my mom, because that's just how she felt. She never cared about where, she cared about who, like who you are. How do you look? How do you represent yourself? Because it has nothing to do with the outside environments. It has everything to do with the person. Because you can be a rose and come out of that bullshit if you choose to, or you can lay down in it and just be as dirty and stanky and filthy as the rest of the insects that are crawling in it. It's up to you. But I don't want to be the person that have all these abilities, but I'm not sharing it anymore. I have the ability to really go out and learn a lot. And I think it's due time for me to use that gift to be powerful in my own essence. So my dad is my business mentor, but also he's my dad. So, he told me one day, lately it's been to where, I came back to fulfill a purpose that had to be done in my hometown. So, shout out. So, he was telling me, he notices that, people are really just coming to me at all times, have nothing to do with my business ventures, but they come in my office and they sit here and they talk, they vent, they laugh, they joke with me, and then they move on. And you can tell by when I'm here the spirit of it. So he was like, but I don't want you to get carried away because I know my daughter. So for me to know that I'm a great teacher, I had to first be a great student. And I was like, what? Because dads, they always have something to tell you about everything. And sometimes when you reach a point that you're grown and you're independent and a lot of stuff you don't really need counsel on. But if you're blessed to still have your parents around, who are the best persons to counsel you but the persons that literally uploaded their DNA to you? I'm half of him, I'm half of my mom. So they are everything that I am. So everything that I am, they know the obstacles that I am in front of. They know the storyline that's behind me. And they know that in order for me to reach my full potential, they have to make sure that I stay on the path that is designed for me. So when he told me that, I was like, you're right. That's telling me that it's not anything about what I really have to say to anybody, because it's all about what I have to learn first and foremost. Because I have to, in order for me to help anybody, I have to learn who you are. I have to learn you. You have to make me a student of you. You have to make me a scholar of your professional, or whatever like you're the professor and I'm the student, because I have to learn. You have to teach me. I am the student of yours, and then with that information, I can then become your teacher. I can say, okay, well, I just feel like this is the part that you're asking me for. So let me give you that information and let's go from there. You know what I'm saying? So I constantly ask questions. I constantly learn. If anybody in this world can do it, they can only do it better than you with practice. A surgeon has to practice a whole bunch before he can call himself a surgeon, right? The tire shop man, how many times he had to learn how to bust these tires down before he had called himself a tire shop man? These are just things that even myself, I am self-employed, but even myself, I can't really say that I am in the field of what I do, because I have not mastered the art of my job. I am really understudying these things, and I want to show you this as well. So I want y'all to see that I'm really just like y'all. I'm really trying to figure out the avenue that I need to go to be successful, and I want to document this on YouTube so I can reference back, so I can hopefully see how far I came. This is my office. I decorated it myself. I'm so proud of it. But you think I want to still stay here in 4, 5 years? No. No, I don't want to still be here. I don't want to still see the same stuff. So I want to document that. I want to say this was where I was here, but this is where I'm going to be there. And have that to be referenced back to you guys, because you might not have a need for the information that I give you that day at that moment, but it'll be available for you to come back to. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, life is a 360, and you might not be in it right now, but hold on, because it's going to come to you. And the best way for you to pass the test so the things will stop reoccurring is to really study up on it and figure out how to pass that test. Oh, man. Hi, thank you. The mailman around here, they acting like scared of me. I'd be scared of me too. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at everyday life, things that are missing. I want to talk about challenging information. I want to talk about entertainment information. I want to talk about thought-provoking topics, things that really are disgusting to some, but are really necessary to others, because you sometimes get into things that you might think you can be exempt from it, but you gotta get under it to get out of it. So these things I want to talk about. I want to bring up the things that we need conversations about, because at the end of the day, if I can save my fellow man from drowning, then that is my responsibility, because I am my sister's keeper first, and that's really something I will show you guys through the devotion of the everyday life of myself, that I do stand by that. And I am my brother's keeper, even though I don't have any. My brothers or anybody that's a black man that don't offend me, that don't have to get checked, because you can be my brother, but that's about it. So let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is hobbies, right? So I have an extensive hobby. I've been practicing on this for years. This is something that I find myself always connected to, because I think that I need to look good at all times, and I want to be uniquely looking good, and I want to represent myself in ways that maybe somebody else hadn't created it yet, or that color variation that I know that's gonna be it on me. So I have this board out just to symbolize what it is. So basically it's my cutting board, my handy dandy yardstick, because I sew. Yes, I am a little fashionista underneath my tomboy ways. You're gonna see me either dressed all the way down like a little stud, or you're gonna see me dressed all the way up thinking I'm giving Rihanna or somebody a run for their money with my little last $2. So when it's time for me to get busy outside of my motherhood, my jobhood, my, everyday life, I like to be in things that I make myself, because I want to be different. It's easy for you to pick up something, but it's not easy when you are in a place with somebody who got it on, and all of a sudden all your self-esteem went away. So I done got caught up one too many times in there. So I wanted to change that. And sewing is something I've always known how to do. I used to little hand stitch. My granny bought me my own little first little, sewing machine. So I've always had a hobby of it, but I never wanted to do more than just the typical hobbies of it because I didn't understand that this was a channel for me to let go of a lot of the monotony and to still have my imagination, because I think imaginations are something that we have gotten beaten out of, or it's asleep, or it's dormant in our minds. And the people that are very successful in today's time are the people with imaginations, right? Think about the celebrities. Think about the millionaires that we hear about, the ones that create things. You have to have an imagination to be a creator. You have to go past this physical world, because that's not where they say dreams happen, or the dreams that come true, not just dreams when you sleep in the REM stages and you got sleep paralysis, not just them dreams, but the ones that you see yourself embodying on this side. So when I picked back up and thought about what made me, not just the physical, but what made me inside creative, was to pick back up my imagination and use that to just create outfits at this point, because it has to be low scale. I'm very, very busy on other stuff, but this is the third thing that I've picked up that I want to take my time to perfect, to turn this hobby into a successful market. And when I say success, it just means that the liabilities are not as much as the income, to where I'm in the black, I'm not in the red. And that's all a person needs to do in order for them to feel successful. To me, I don't need to be on the same page as the people who inherited the world a long time ago, because I can't fight with them. But what I can do is create my mini success around my own ideologies, and just make sure that the money that I receive in the long run outweighs anything that I've invested, even with things that didn't cost money, but the time that it took me into researching these things, trial and errors. And like I said, I've been doing it for years at this point. So starting off, you ladies might not like this kind of stuff. It's meticulous, it's boring, but it involves my mind, so I like it. But still get something to do, working and being a mom, or being a sister, or being a brother, that's fine and dandy, but you still got to take care of who you are on the inside. And I think hobbies have been missed upon with us, because they teach us grind hard, what I'm saying? But hobbies can make you money, right? I mean, lots of people have hobbies that make them money. Shoot, a kid hobby was hair cutting before, and now he's a barber, So I want to show you guys as I turn my hobbies potentially into revenue, so I can flip it to the other side and let it take off, because I'm ready to make money off of all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because I put my hard, diligent effort into it, when I go to YouTube University and find things like the project that I'm going to first show you guys over time, and it's going to be separate and simultaneous to my videos ongoing, because like I said, I don't want to just sit and talk to you guys like, a licensed anything, because I'm not. What I want to do is sit with you guys, learn with you guys, and just be a helper to get everybody on the way to happiness, because I think that that's what everybody is missing, and these little things have added happiness back into me, so maybe it can have happiness back into you guys. So I am making a dress. Me and my daughter are going to take pictures for Mother's Day. You know, I want to create our outfits. I want to take the pictures around beautiful flowers and plants, and I want to get it painted. You know, I want to show this whole creative side of me, because this is who I am. I am the creator, the initiator. I am the messenger. I am the person that really take it upon themselves to want to make sure I have everybody so we can go together, because it's very lonely when you are the only one with the information. It's very lonely when people around you that you love somehow don't connect with you no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be isolated in information. I want to be inclusive in it, and I want to be inclusive to people around me, because you know, with time has come experience, and with experience has come wisdom, and I am wise enough to know that I want to be in the company of those that I can help. I want to be a vessel to get people going, get people started, initiated. Let's go. So what I'm going to do is, it's almost quitting time. I'm going to pick back up when I get to my work studio at home, and I'm going to show you. I ordered a pattern, because with experience, you know, sometimes I can create my own patterns, but if you don't have the knowledge, or you don't have the wherewithal to have that around you, because I live in a little small city, so of course people are doing the same thing I'm doing. Anybody can sew, anybody can dream and come up with an outfit, but I don't know them, so I have to go find the information the best way I can. So I was on YouTube looking up mermaid dresses, and I will tag her in it. She had pretty stuff. She had good videos. They were thorough, but bam, I seen that she sells her patterns. So over her YouTubes, she will show you how to make them, but I'm going to shortcut my way through it, because why wouldn't I? The only thing I have to do is basically use her pattern that she sold me. I need to enlarge it, you know, for the big girls, and fit it to myself, which is going to be a very, very easy project that I will be able to finish on my downtime when I'm not working or mothering, maybe within 3 or 4 days, to give me time to perfect it, make sure it's cute, cute, cute. And then I'll show you guys, and I will show you guys my daughter's before too, as I'm constructing it, because I want to show people you can be cute with your children. I want to be cute with my daughter at all times. You know, this is my prized possession. So if I'm going to look like anything, she's going to look like everything. You know what I'm saying? So we will show you guys that. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be playing YouTube music in the background. I don't know. You guys going to tell me along the way in the comments. But I'm going to show you guys how to do all of that. In the meantime, I'm going to pack up, clothes for the day. My day is over. And I'll start back up with the pattern.